there, I'm Sarah from sarahkbrandis.com, small business marketing made simple for life coaches and authors. This is episode lucky 13 of Solopreneurship Made Simple, and today I'm talking about niching. So if you're like my typical client, if you're a life coach, for example, then I get this question a lot from new life coaches. I think because it's quite a big industry now, there are a lot of life coaches out there, and therefore coaches tend to worry that there's not enough work for them. That's actually not the case. There totally is. But coaches worry there's not enough work for them. So their fear around niching is, well, if I make myself too specific, then I'm just not going to find enough clients. I want to tell you that that's not the case. I want to tell you it's the opposite. And here's why. This is, that saying, jack of all trades, master of none. It totally applies here. If you're a general coach and the message that you broadcast through your marketing, your advertising, copy on your website, everything, if your message is general, I do a bit of general life coaching. I can deal with your marital problems. I can deal with your work problems. I can deal with your kid problems. It's very diluted, and you're not demonstrating specialism in one key area. And this is the thing that people look for. And it's certainly where people are willing to hand over their hard-earned money. Not for general stuff, but for a very specific pain point that you can speak to as an expert. And it's being an expert that makes you, worth the money that you want to be charging for your coaching. So think about it that way. And think about the message that you're putting out there in terms of, and where it really comes into your marketing, it's in terms of your content, your web copy, your email newsletter, your advertising, everything, even your business card, everything that conveys a message about who you are needs to say something about why you are special. And this is why we need a niche. So I know it can be hard to choose a niche at first, and it's not always something obvious as well. I've had clients in the past that have said, well, the people that come to me are such a wide range of ages, so I can't define them by age. I'm not a coach for millennials because sometimes I get people in their 50s and 60s. I'm not a coach for women because I get a fair number of men. It doesn't have to be a demographic that defines your niche. It can be a common thread. So, for example, it could be that everyone that comes to you, whether they're male or female, whether they've been born in England, or whether they're an expat, whether they're a mum, or whether they're happily child-free, whatever their demographic is, they might have one common thread that is a lack of confidence. So then confidence becomes your niche. So this is the thing that you can pull this thread through in every bit of marketing that you produce, your business card, all of your blog posts, podcast if you do one, whatever marketing method works for you, all of your Instagram quotes, everything. Doesn't all have to be loud in your face totally about confidence, but that subtle thread woven all the way through your message, that's who you are as a coach. And this is what makes you different and stand out. And then you can start to talk to people about the experience that you've had with dealing with this. So the wealth of clients that you've helped to overcome low self-confidence, for example, this becomes your specialism, and this is why people will seek you out. Now, something really cool that you will notice, if you embrace this, and if you do make your marketing message more specific, and if you do niche, then you will notice that you aren't fighting as hard for clients. You are, in fact, and I'm not saying it's like a magic silver bullet, but there will be some difference. You will get some leads that will come to you out of the blue that are not a direct result of an advertisement that you've paid for, because you've got a specialism that they've actively sought out. And if you've got enough of your message out there on the internet with that thread of your specialism, people will find you organically as well. So it's going to help you to reach more people and to get more leads, more qualified leads, people that actually want to work with you. So I hope that's convinced you as to why you should have a niche. I hope it's giving you a little bit of insight into how you can think about defining your niche. As I said, it doesn't have to be a demographic. It doesn't have to be I coach men, or I coach women, or I coach 20-somethings, or I coach parents. It doesn't have to be that. If it doesn't work for you, and it will work for a lot of people, and that's why people get stuck there if they can't define by demographic. It doesn't have to be a demographic. You can pick out a different common thread to be your niche. Can be different and surprising, and that's good because, as I said at the beginning, there are a lot of coaches out there now. So pick something that is authentic to you, that you're genuinely passionate about, that you have genuine experience in, it's awesome if that weaves in with your own personal story. So if you are the confidence coach, then you've got a history of feeling less confident, and you've got that backstory to share with people in your content, on your About Me page, on your website. These things are all incredibly useful for people to get to know and to trust you. They want to see history of your expertise, so make sure that you tell that story. Story is critical to marketing. Before I go off on a mad tangent and start ranting too much about story and marketing, let me just pull myself back and say that this was about defining your niche. Because it is super important. So the main message that I want to convey today is that defining your niche does not limit you to the amount of customers that you might find. It in fact helps you to laser target and get the right warm leads. So instead of promoting a general message like hundreds of other coaches are doing that doesn't make you stand out and that costs you money in advertising and that, lightly grazes the surface of people's problems but doesn't really drill down on something specific, instead of doing that, broadcast a specific message about just your niche. And yes, that will eliminate a lot of people, but those people probably weren't going to pay for your coaching anyway because you weren't going deep on their problems, you were just grazing the surface. Be brave, go deep, and the right people who need you, want you, and will pay for you are much more likely to come to you. I hope that helps. Have a great week, and I'll see you next week. Bye for now.